welcome back to a new video where we're going over the same skill as last time, but now medium difficulty level. If you're confused with these questions, I recommend going back to that video to double check, kind of get a foundation, because these future videos, medium and advanced, are just building on top of that. So let's get started. Make sure to subscribe, and on to our first question. Tian makes his pizza dough. He uses 2 packages of yeast for every 5 cups of flour. If he needs 15 cups of flour to make enough pizza for his family, how many packages of yeast does he need? Here we're going to be setting up quite a bit of proportions. And our rule with proportions is first sentence, first fraction, and then same units go opposite each other. So first sentence, we have the numbers 2 and 5. So that first fraction is just 2 over 5. And then 15 cups of flour needs to be opposite 5 cups of flour. They have the same units. Then the missing space is just filled by an x. We can just do multiplication and solve for x. 2 times 15, of course, butterfly style. 2 times 15 is 30. 5 times x is 5x. So x equals 6. And that is the packages of yeast needed. On to question number 2. The total operating cost of a monorail are paid using a combination of passenger fares and tax revenue. The fare box recovery ratio is the ratio of passenger fares to total operating costs. So this might be important. A monorail in one city has 69 million in operating costs per year and uses 30 million for tax revenue. To the nearest hundredth, what is the fare box recovery ratio for the city? So, as we saw here, fare box recovery ratio is passenger fares to total operating costs. We can find our passenger fares by subtracting our numbers 69 and 30. So our passenger fares is just 39 million, and then total operating costs is 69 million. So our ratio is just 39 over 69. We can go ahead and divide this in our calculator. 39 divided by 69 is 0.565. So 0.565 rounded to the nearest hundredth is 0.57. So that is our answer, 0.57. On to our next question. It takes 22.5 milliliters of diluted sodium hydroxide solution to neutralize a 5 milliliter sample of fruit juice. The amount of solution required is proportional to the amount of juice. How many milliliters of sodium hydroxide solution would it take to neutralize 240 milliliter sample of fruit juice? Of course, proportion here. First sentence, first fraction. So 22.5 over 5. Then our other fraction, 240 is fruit juice. 5 was also fruit juice. So those need to be opposite each other. And then our last value is just x. Once again, let's do butterfly multiplication. 5 times x is 5x. And then 240. And then 240 times 22.5 is 5,400. So 5x equals 5,400. We can just divide both sides by 5. 5,400 divided by 5 is 1,080. So it takes 1,080 milliliters of sodium hydroxide solution. And on to our last question here. The music interval between 2 sounds is called an octave if the ratio of the sounds' frequencies is 2 to 1. The following table shows the names of the musical intervals between 2 sounds based on the ratios of the 2 sounds' frequencies. If a sound is played with a frequency of 480 Hz and the second sound is played with a frequency of 800 Hz, what is the name of the musical interval between the 2 sounds? Of course, we just need to simplify this ratio and then see which one it matches. So 480 over 800 is a fraction. First off, we can cross out those 2 zeros. And now we can simplify 48 over 80. Let's just start dividing both numerator and denominator by 2. So now we have 24 over 40. We can do that again to get 12 over 20. And again to get 6 over 10. And again to get 3 to 5. So that is a 3 to 5 ratio. That matches major sixth. So major sixth is our answer. And that was all for today. Of course, we strayed a little bit away from simply setting up ratios and moved to setting up the proportions. If you have any further questions, make sure to leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys when we go over the advanced difficulty level. Goodbye.